Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series. Hey guys, welcome to PlayLoad. This is all my pickups for April 2013. And I'm just going to warn you up front, this may be a slightly disappointing month. I actually have been very, very busy, so I haven't picked up a whole lot of things. So, but I will show you what I do have. I've been so busy, actually, I considered actually not making the video, but I did my best to squeeze in some time, so here we go. First up is this modded Xbox. You guys did see this already, but I figured I'd show it to you since obviously I picked it up. It's got a mod chip right there, or well, part of one, and the other one's installed internally. But like I said, did a whole video on that. It's a very neat, nice item. And if you ever are in a Goodwill or a thrift store and you see something like that, you should really go for it because it's just, you never know what you're going to find. And this was totally a good deal for that. Unfortunately, it wasn't totally tripped out the way I wanted it to be, but, you know, it was in a thrift store, you know, what are you going to do? But just because it's modded, just because it has the ability to play pirated games and stuff, that doesn't mean I'm going to do that. In fact, I already got 2 other modded Xboxes, and it hasn't stopped me from collecting. So, with that in mind, we move on, and I picked up a couple of original Xbox games here. Got Justice League Heroes. I actually like this game quite a bit. I actually beat it all the way through, though that was earlier this month. And, yeah, it's good to have a modded Xbox, although ironically I didn't play it on this one, because you can use codes. And I don't mean like, you know, up, down, BA, you just skip, you know, that kind of thing. You don't have to do any of that. It's got like built-in programs for cheating. Think of it like Game Shark or Game Genie. They basically offer those kinds of features. So it's really fun with a game like this, where, you know, you play as Superman, and you can actually make him behave the way Superman would, you know? I don't like how in games with Superman, they always just, you punch him and it like hurts him. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. I want him to be invincible. That's how it goes. But yeah, anyway, I did like this game quite a bit. So, yeah, I'm glad I bought it. I also bought Batman Begins, which, I guess, this is a coincidence that I picked up 2 games with Batman in it. But, yeah, I haven't played this much, but it's pretty neat that they did make a Batman Begins game, because they didn't make one for The Dark Knight, they did not make one for The Dark Knight Rises. I think when this movie was coming out, they treated it just like it was another Batman movie, kind of like Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, Batman Returns, and the original Batman, just, you know, get a lot of merch out there. But, yeah, so I'm glad that they did make this, and it's unfortunate they didn't make the others. Yeah, I don't know, I can't give you much of a review, because honestly I haven't really played it. But, there you go. I also picked up Max Payne and Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne. These games were popular, mostly because Rockstar made them, and around the time when they came out, they had hit with Grand Theft Auto 3, more specifically when this one came out, they hit with Grand Theft Auto 3, and like everything with Rockstar's name on it just made money, so kudos to them. Max Payne 1 was actually intended for the Dreamcast, and unfortunately never finished, although I would not be surprised in the slightest if somebody out there has a finished copy of Max Payne for the Dreamcast and is just sitting on it. So, who knows, one day that may get leaked and we may all get to enjoy it on the Dreamcast. But, yeah, there you go, Max Payne 1 and 2. Led to another game, I know, there's a Max Payne 3, and it led to a horrible Mark Wahlberg movie. Dead Island Riptide for the Xbox 360. I did a whole video on getting this. We made a Christopher Walken through for Machinima out of this game, and that's why I got it early. And that video, you can go see that video now, or you can go see my unboxing video, whichever you prefer, or both. That would be the best. Go see both. The game itself, I do enjoy. It is a direct sequel to the first one. Direct. Like the second the first one ends, this one pretty much begins. And I like the gameplay quite a bit, although I do have my complaints. My biggest complaint is the hit detection in the combat system, I feel is a tad off. I feel like sometimes when you strike, it doesn't really do nearly enough damage or even hit them at all, and it really should. But yeah, that's pretty much my biggest complaint. Overall, I do enjoy the game, and I'm happy to have it. Also for the Xbox 360, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. This game was pretty much critically panned by everyone who liked Banjo-Kazooie. So yeah, you know, I had a friend who was really into Banjo-Kazooie, and he started playing this for a bit, and was just like, this is just terrible. And, but with that in mind, regardless, I finally decided to pick up Banjo-Kazooie 1 and Banjo-Tooie, so Banjo-Kazooie 1 and 2. I know what you're thinking, why didn't I have those? You know, I never found them for a decent price, and finally I did. So I said, okay, the hell with it, I'm doing it. And I picked up the whole trilogy. So I want to do a marathon at some point, but somehow I get the feeling I may not be too interested in finishing that one. But, you know, we'll see. I'll give you an update someday, you know. Moving on, Julep for the PS2. I pretty much only bought this game because my girlfriend told me to, or at least requested that I do. It's about this, it's a very Japanese game. It's very bizarre. You play as this little kid who just moved into this little Japanese town, and your goal is to kiss this girl. So you have to learn how to do that, and you have to, like, kiss other people and practice so that you can eventually kiss her. It is a very strange game, but it was a lot of fun, and it's hard to find, or at least it was hard for me to find, so once I did, I had to pick it up. Star Wars Bounty Hunter for the Nintendo Gamecube. This game, sadly, was never on the Xbox. It was only on the Gamecube and PS2, and with that generation, excluding the Dreamcast, of course, typically I always preferred the Xbox. That's where I would get a game if it was multi-plat. Some of these were. Or I would go to, if second choice was always the GameCube and third was always the PS2. And this is not because I like hate the PS2 or anything. I have my reasons. Namely that you can get, I either prefer the controller in some cases, or I prefer the video output. Video output on the PS2 is usually pretty bad, whereas the Xbox and GameCube do not suffer from that issue. So that's one of my big reasons. But yeah, anyway, so between the choices of GameCube and PS2 for this game, I decided I would get the GameCube version. And here it is. I have only played this for a little bit. I basically beat the tutorial, and you know, it was kind of fun. Not a huge... I've never understood the appeal of Boba, or Jango Fett in this case. I've thought he's like a fine character, but the boner that people have for that character has always blown my mind. But yeah, whatever. Doesn't stop me from getting the game. So there we go. I've got it now. Unfortunately, the GameCube version is not nearly as common as the PS2 version. For the Sega Saturn, I got Bust-A-Move 2, and I got Myst. Neither game is anything I'm particularly interested in. Between the two, I guess I'd prefer Bust-A-Move 2. The only real reason I picked them up is just because... I've said this in the past many times. When I see a Sega Saturn game, especially a boxed, complete one that I don't have, if it's cheap, I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to give it a home. And so that's what I did. I do like Bust-A-Move. I do kind of enjoy those kinds of arcade games. Myst is like a point-and-click adventure. One of the most successful ones ever. But I've just never been into those kinds of games. But, you know, if you are, this was always considered a pretty good one. So pick that up if you're into point-and-click adventure games. And, of course, Bust-A-Move 2 if you're into, like, well, there's so many puzzle games out there, and that's just another great one. And finally, and I know it's hard to believe, but we're already at finally, I got Rush Rush Rally Racing DX Nighttime Edition for the Dreamcast. Now, you guys did, hopefully you saw, I did a video, actually did a two-part video on getting this, or at least sort of how I got this, and I highly recommend you go watch those videos. Now, this is not a new game to me. I already have Rush Rush Rally Racing. In fact, this is now my third copy of this game. The only reason I have it, well, you can go watch the other video, but this is a slightly different cover of the game, and so I was happy to get that. I was really hoping, there's two new Dreamcast games coming out. In fact, I think both have shipped. One's called Stormwind, and the other one is called Ducks 1.5. They are both started shipping, and unfortunately they did not arrive this month. So hopefully you'll see them on PlayLoad next month. But that's really what I wanted to wrap the video up with, but unfortunately it was not a possibility. But if you haven't, you should go out, you should go pre-order, you should go order Ducks 1.5, and you should go order Stormwind. Actually, if you're an owner of Ducks, the first Ducks, you can contact QCast about that, and they will send you a free copy of Ducks 1.5. Now, they have all sorts of information on that on their website, and when I get Ducks 1.5, I'll probably talk more about that. But yeah, regardless, you should go out and get those games. Support the independent Dreamcast scene. Go ahead and get Rush Rush Rally Racing. Support them for that, too. This is probably the only racing game we will ever get for the Dreamcast, you know, beyond its original run. And it's pretty cool. It's a top-down racing game, although I find it to be really hard, but that might be because I just really suck at racing games. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I know it was a lot shorter and had a lot less material than usual, and I'm sorry, I guess. But yeah, there you go. That's all my pickups, and thanks for watching, guys.